What is up, everybody? Welcome to the first real episode of What is on the Mound with Matthew and Luke. Unfortunately, Luke is unable to join me this evening, so you will just have me. On this channel, we plan on talking about news involving the St. Louis Cardinals. Without further ado, let's get started. The first topic I'm going to bring up is not a happy topic, but it is a topic that needs to be discussed. And it is the disastrous 2023 season for the St. Louis Cardinals. Nobody expected it to happen, folks. Unfortunately, the Cardinals did not make it to the playoffs last season. Unfortunately, they did horrible. Last season, the 2023 season, they had a total of 71 wins and 91 losses. That was not expected from a team that is, for the most part, a winning team. Going forward, the Cardinals definitely need to figure out what the issue was to avoid a disastrous season again. And obviously the goal is to get back to the playoffs and hopefully win a World Series. One of the obvious problems is pitching. You've probably heard this lots of times before, but the Cardinals really lack with pitching. We just don't have great pitching, and to win games and make the playoffs, you need great pitching. Thankfully, this offseason, there is some good free agent pitchers that the Cardinals could go after. Another issue could have been the leadership. Oliver Marmol, the Cardinals manager, we all know he is very young, and he does not have a lot of management experience. So hopefully, I wish the best for him, and I wish he is able to bounce back and obviously lead us to a World Series title. I am not ready to give up on him. I believe that they should give him another chance because not every team can have a winning season. And unfortunately, it was not a great final season for star Cardinals pitcher Adam Wainwright. That is the next topic I'm going to get into. Adam Wainwright, also known as Uncle Charlie, is definitely a Cardinals legend. He is one of the best players to wear the birds on the bat. He has had a lot of success in St. Louis. He is a great guy on and off the field. He does a lot of good stuff. I actually got the honor to meet him once, and I really enjoyed him. He's a really friendly guy, and I actually got him to sign a couple things. He decided to come back for the 2023 season to finish off his career. Obviously, he was hoping for that World Series title. Unfortunately, it did not go that way for him. He personally also struggled this season, and it was definitely one of his down years, which was really hard to watch. And it was also sad that a lot of people are being negative about him, which there's no need for hate, guys. Yes, he had a down season, but it's important to remember all the great stuff he did do for the Cardinals. Thankfully, one of the highlights of the season for me was seeing him win number 200. That was a record that he was chasing, and towards the end, it was not clear if he would get to it. I actually had the honor of going to that game, which was also his final MLB game that he ever pitched in. So that is definitely a historic game. So it was cool to actually be at that game and get to watch it live. And later, after that game, we found out that he was not in the best shape, and he was really hurting towards the end. And even if he didn't get to win 200, that would have been the last game he pitched in. It definitely did feel magical that he was able to get there, and I was really happy for him. And I feel like in the end it was worth it that he came back to get win number 200. Not a lot of guys are able to do that. And finally, I'm going to talk about the players the St. Louis Cardinals non-tendered. Those players are Andrew Knizner, Dakota Hudson, Jake Woodford, and Juan Yepez. The first player I'm going to talk about is Andrew Knizner. To be honest, out of all the four guys who were non-tendered, this one is the one that surprised me the most. Because Since Andrew Knizner has been on the team longer than Wilson Contreras, he is most familiar with our pitching staff, and that is important to have. Currently, he was a backup catcher to Wilson Contreras, but when you think about it, something they could have considered is they plan on adding a bunch of new pitching. So, obviously, if the new pitcher is being familiar, there would be no being familiar since Andrew Knizner has only played for the Cardinals. There would be no way he would have been familiar with the new pitchers. And we also have a young catcher who played some time with the big league team, and it's possible he could become the main backup to Contreras like Knizner was. His name is Ivan Herrera. The next guy I'm going to talk about is Dakota Hudson. Dakota Hudson was a pitcher who he was highly rated, and the Cardinals talked highly of him. But unfortunately, he has just not been great. And after a while, you just have to move on, and you can't keep giving them that chance. So that's not necessarily too surprising to me. And Jake Woodford, he just has not been great. And he did have time in the minor leagues previously after he was called up. So I guess that's the same with Dakota Hudson. So both of those guys being non-tender does not surprise me. And finally, Juan Yepez. Juan Yepez has played first base for us and also outfielder. And we currently have, as far as first baseman, we have Goldschmidt and Lucan Baker. So we don't really need him as a first baseman. And in the outfield, we have so many outfielders. There is not a need for another one. And we have outfielders who can hit better. So to me, it makes sense to non-tender him. Because even non-tendering him, the outfield is still too full. But that is a topic for another video. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And before I sign off, go Cardinals!